What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hamlin, aka the Laptop Legend, and in today's video I want to talk about the fact that Dan Bilzerian surprised the hell out of me because I did not expect his company to be profitable, and it just posted profitable results for quarter four. If you don't know what that means, that's the last 3 months of the year 2020, and I don't think anyone was expecting this because the stock absolutely shot through the roof, closed at the high of the days, up more than 100% on the day. I'm gonna talk about what I think it could be doing tomorrow, take you through the charts, but I just wanna give you guys a little bit of a recap of why this is so unexpected. So if you recall, a couple of months ago, it came out that Dan Bilzerian was using the money from the company to basically fund his hedonistic, ridiculously overblown, luxurious lifestyle. You know, he was counting his mansion, which the rent is something insane, like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. He was counting that as a business expense, like all the parties with models he was throwing, counting that as a business expense. This is the same guy who threw an adult film star off of his roof into a pool. Like, he's done some crazy stuff, and typically thinking, yeah, like you would not think that he's the best person to invest your money with if he's blowing investor money on all these ridiculous expenses and counting them as business expenses. There was also a whistleblower who I think was part of the accounting team who said something to him about the fact that, like, yo, I don't think you should be counting these as business expenses. You know, you're buying, I don't want to get demonetized, but you can use your imagination. Some of the stuff he was buying was pretty crazy. And I think the accountant said something and was threatening to talk about it because, yo, I don't think this is an actual business expense. You can't be writing this stuff off. And then he got fired because of that. So there was a whole ordeal. Definitely some good videos. I think CoffeeZilla, if you want to look him up, he made some really good videos on Dan Bilzerian. So definitely go check that out if you want to know the full story. But that is the reason why it was so surprising to see him post a profit in the last quarter. And again, because of that, his stock absolutely blew up. His stock is on the OTC exchange. I'm gonna say this here. If you comment asking this, I am going to punch a baby in the face. Not really, but I get upset when I talk about something in the video and then you guys ask the same question anyway. OTC stocks do not trade on Robinhood. They do not trade on Webull, at least as of now. So if you want to buy it, you cannot use those. I personally use Fidelity. It works great. There's no commissions for OTC stocks. Now that that's out of the way, yeah, let's dive into my computer and talk about the charts a little bit. All right, guys, so here I am on my computer, and right before I dive into the charts, I just want to show you what he uploaded on his Instagram story. So this is what he uploaded. This is basically the financial results from this past quarter, and you can see he highlighted that the December revenues were the highest monthly sales in the company's history. Revenue for the fourth quarter 2020 was $10 million compared to $1.7 million for the third quarter and $6.6 million for the first 3 quarters of the year. So in the fourth quarter of 2020, that company surpassed the first 3 quarters. So in the last 3 months of the year, it surpassed the first 9 months, which is a pretty big deal, honestly. I mean, it looks good for a company to do this. Revenue grew steadily throughout the fourth quarter, beginning with $1.2 million in October, $3.7 million in November, $5.2 million in December. Earnings from operations for the fourth quarter were break even compared to a loss of $1.2 million for the third quarter and $16.3 million for the first 3 quarters of the year. But here's where it gets juicy, right? So you can see here, net income for the fourth quarter 2020 was $4.9 million of net income for the company versus a loss of $6 million for the third quarter and $21.8 million for the first 3 quarters combined. So this company, as you can see, like before, it was losing money and it looked like he was just blowing investors' money and didn't have a profitable company at all. But seeing this, it's starting to look a little bit better because you can see here, now the company's profitable by $4.9 million. And he kind of pumped this a little. I'm not going to say he pumped it, but he put, obviously, the ticker right here at the top, BILZF. That is the ticker for the company. Again, it trades on OTC. And he posted this on his Instagram story. If I go here, you can see 4 hours ago when I took this little screen recording, but I mean, he has 32.8 million followers, and a lot of them might be people who, you know, work all day. They might be dads who hate their lives and they want to run around with 50 models like this guy does, and because of that, you know, I expect this story to continue to get a lot more views overnight and then, you know, through the morning, and by that point, it'll be another, what, I mean, 4 a.m. is 12 hours from now. 8 a.m. after that is, I can't do that math in my head, but I mean, what is that? 16, 17 hours away until the market opens for OTC, because again, OTC does not have after hours trading. So there's going to be a lot of eyes that see his story in that time. They're going to see that it's up big. They're going to see that it has all these good financial results. They're going to see that it's actually profitable now, which is crazy because nobody was expecting that. And I'm excited to see what happens with this. So if we go look at the chart here, it had a nice spike up here. You could see, well, let me, when do you guys think he uploaded it to his story? You know, let me go to 5 days real quick. Take a guess real quick. Where do you think he uploaded that to his story? Any takers? All right, I'll give you a hint. It's right here. That's when the volume surged in. Volume is super important. And it spiked up here. It came back down here. And there were some pretty ugly spreads. So I was flipping the spreads. And again, if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know what that means, take a look at my what order types to use in the market and how you can take advantage of them. Because in this case, there were some crazy spreads, man. And there was up to like an 8-cent, 7-cent spread at times, which means that the best person willing to buy was at like 80 cents and the best seller was at 88 cents. So if you could buy on the bid and sell on the ask, you make an instant profit. And that's what I was doing here. So you can see I bought in at 85 and filled 30 seconds later at 89. And, I was probably pinching pennies here a little bit, but I wasn't sure what this was going to do. I'm not sure if this got reposted. I'm not sure what happened here exactly. I'm not sure why it jumped here. Maybe it started to perk up, and we got the break back over this area, the break over the high a day, the break through the dollar mark. That's probably what it is, People come back. This is power hour. Towards the end of the day, more people start trading up in here. So that's probably what happened if I had to guess. But you can see here, it broke out over $1 nicely and closed literally right at the high of the day. So I really would expect this to gap up tomorrow. That would be my guess. Because again, there's going to be a lot of eyes on his story, seeing that this company is doing well. And if you're holding this long overnight, congrats. I mean, if you bought in for the break of $1, that is a beautiful entry point. I think I'm not sure if these are misprints or if there were just some big, I would assume these are probably misprints based on, where they are in the trend line, the fact that they really don't seem to affect it at all. So I don't think it actually came all the way down to under 90 cents here. Maybe it did, but I kind of doubt that it did. So, I mean, in general, if you got in at $1, you were looking pretty nice. I don't think it broke under that. And then just continued on up. Your close right at those highs. So what do I expect on this stock, and how can we trade it if you're not currently in it? Because I was busy with some of the other stocks and unfortunately missed this move at the end of the day. Otherwise, I definitely would have looked to buy this here. I was watching some other stocks that were doing some crazy moves. Be ready for that video coming a little bit later. But again, what can we do if we're not in this stock yet already? You don't want to chase this stock because it has the potential to fall a lot. It's up a lot. It's up anything that goes from 45 cents all the way up to $1.22 has the potential to drop. And if we go look at the 3-month chart, I mean, look at the move that it's making right here. Obviously, there's a lot more volume today, and that's because there's a lot more eyes. But this could easily gap up. I would not be surprised to see this thing gap up big, man. I mean, this could gap up to these levels. It could gap up honestly and break out past the 2 mark. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. So you have to be prepared on this one. I feel like a better option would be a nice gap up and then a morning panic off of that, and then a bounce play, shorts cover off of the panic, and then we ride that bounce play up. That is typically what I like to do on these because I don't like to chase. But there's the chance, man, because this is an earnings winner. That means that it's actually profitable as a company when we were not expecting it to be. There's a chance that this one could gap up and just continue to run, man. If it breaks out past that $2 mark, it could definitely keep going. I could definitely see it continue to run. And you can see there's a ton of volume on this day. So I mean, if it breaks past that, it could go all the way up here. And again, this is the first time, I think this is the first time ever that this company has been profitable. So this could be a big turning point for the company. You can look at the past chart history and see that the last time it went up here, the last time it touched, above $3, it absolutely rejected and it tanked. That's what that wick means. It went up there and then in one day it came all the way back down here. But the company was not profitable back then. So this could potentially be a turning point for the company. He might be turning his ways around. Maybe he cut down on some of his needless expenditures because he got so much backlash for it. So I could definitely see that being a factor that is coming into play here. But I'm excited to see what this stock does, man. I'm very, very excited. You definitely want to trade with caution. Don't let it go very far against you. So if you get in trying to ride the hype and then it goes against you, make sure you cut because it has a long way that it could fall. And it's always better to cut and get back in when you're up really, really big. When the stock is up really, really big, that is. Because you don't know how far it could fall. It is earnings. It is good news. So I expect there to be some support. I would be very surprised if this fell all the way down to 80 cents tomorrow. You know, I'd be surprised, but it could happen. You never know. So you always want to play it conservatively. But this definitely is going to be moving more. I expect to gap up again because we're going to have all of these eyes, all of those 32 million followers, probably not all of them, but I mean, a good percentage. We're going to have millions and millions of more people finding out about the fact that this company was profitable when it was not expected to be profitable. And a lot of those people are going to be buying right at market open, or, you know, they're going to wait to see what it does. And then if it doesn't tank and they don't get a dip buy, they'll probably just buy and continue to spike it up. So that is what I'm expecting from this stock tomorrow. I'm not sure what it's going to do. Who knows? I'm not positive, but I know it's going to be doing something very exciting. Props to Dan Bilzerian because, again, I really was not expecting this company to be profitable after the way that he was handling the finances. But, you know, maybe there's something to be said for throwing people off of roofs into pools. You know, maybe I need to start doing that. Maybe that would transform my trading career. So if any of you guys volunteer to A, have a pool, and B, let me throw you off of your house into the pool, let me know. Let me know in the comments below if I can do that, because clearly it transformed his life, and I think it could transform mine too. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video with the remainder of the stocks you need to be watching tomorrow, because there are some crazy, crazy ones. And yeah, that is it for today. Not today. Oh, God. I just messed up my outro. All right, you guys, you know the drill. All right, I'll grow better together. I'll see you in the next one. Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.